So how many of you are ready to be there till the end? Start with, what does this NISM mean? The full form of NISM is nothing but National Institute of Securities Markets. Okay. Now you might be asking, hey Tapas, what does this NISM? Who are NISMs? Who are NISMs? That might be one of the questions. This is especially for all the members who are brand new, to the market. Okay. So basically, NISM is nothing but one of the educational forum which was established by SEBI. Now, as you know that SEBI are none other than the regulatory body in India. So in case if you are giving any of the tips, or maybe if you are giving some research to other people, or maybe if you are giving investment advice to the other people, or maybe you are managing the portfolio of other people, then you must get the license from SEBI, right? Without license, you cannot do it. Education you can do, you can teach other people, but you will not be able to, take your game to the next level where the other people will be using your advice, right? Or maybe you will not be able to manage the portfolio of somebody until unless you do not have the license from SEBI. Okay. So now what happens? Typically, SEBI, they provide license for 3 verticals. Okay. The first one is nothing but research analyst. Okay. Now the second one is called investment advisory, and third one is called portfolio management. Okay, so I should write here portfolio management service. So there are 3 verticals in terms of the people who are there who helps other investors in India especially. Okay. Now you might be asking, what is the difference between research analyst, investment advisory, and portfolio management? Now try to understand. Okay, suppose you are giving some research, or maybe you got some good understanding about the technical analysis, and you are having the good knowledge about the fundamental analysis. Then what you can do is you can publish your result only to one person. That is one of the way. Another way, you can publish your research to many people, right? Now if you're having some intraday call, if you're giving BTST call, or maybe if you're giving some long-term investment advice to mass, that means you are giving research to many people, then those people are called research analyst. Okay. So in here, what I'll do, I will write here one to many. That means if you are broadcasting something and thousands of people are using your research, or maybe you are having, I will talk about many of those buy side, sell side, or independent research analysis later from time when we'll start our journey. Okay. But for time being, whenever you are sharing your research to many people, then those will be coming under research analyst. The another vertical which we are having called investment advisory. Investment advisory means something like you are doing the risk profiling of somebody and you are customizing the plan for somebody, then that will be coming in terms of the investment advisory. I'll just give you the example. Something like Shan is over there in this particular room. Okay. Now what in case if I will be looking into the different way what is the income of Shan, what are the expense of Shan, or maybe how many family members are there for him, or maybe how many dependents are there, and based on that, so if I research to many people, those are called one to many. If you are giving some of the tips only to one person based on his profile, those will be coming one to one. Those will be coming under investment advisory. Okay. And the third one is called portfolio management service. Portfolio management service means, let's think that somebody, maybe Surendra, is in this particular room. Okay. What I will do, I will be taking the username and password of Surendra, and what we'll do, I will be telling, I'll take his username and password, and I will be doing the trade or investment on his behalf. That is called portfolio management service. Okay. So basically what I'm going to say, just to make you understand based on the 3 verticals: research analyst, when you will be publishing the research to many people, one to many. Investment advisory, that means you are giving the one-to-one advice to somebody. And portfolio management service means you are taking care of portfolio of somebody. Okay. Portfolio or trading of somebody. And there are two type of PMS are there, which we'll be discussing while going through. Okay. Analyst, one to many. Investment advisory, one to one. Okay. Suppose if you are giving one to one, call to somebody, okay, and you are having research analyst, then you are not following the rule. If you are having research analyst license, and if you are doing portfolio management service, you are not following the rule. You will be in trouble if some audit and other things will go on. Okay. In India, what are the criteria to register with SEBI? Okay. So what are the criteria to register with SEBI? The first and foremost thing, let me just note down over there. So where if you want to apply for any of the three verticals, okay, the first criteria you must have is, the bachelor's degree. Okay, I'll write B degree over there, or maybe bachelor's degree in specified field. This is the new rule. Okay, now what is specified field means? Finance. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, suppose if you are having maybe BBA, okay, or if you have done BCom, okay, or any bachelor's degree where the finance or commerce thing were there, then the first criteria will be met. Okay, and the second criteria, okay, I will write here and second criteria, you must have the NISM certification. Okay, if you are applying for research analyst, you must have the research analyst certificate, the one which we are discussing right now. We'll be going through it. And if you are applying for maybe investment advisory, you have to complete 2 certifications. Okay, so for IA, there are 2, level 1 and level 2. There will be 2 certificates you have to complete investment advisory. If you're doing PMS, it will have also 1 certificate which you have to complete. Okay, this is the latest news which I'm telling from the 19th of November. Earlier, what used to happen, earlier you must have the postgraduate program, then only you can apply for the license, right? Okay, but now what happened, the dynamics were changed. You must have the bachelor's degree in any of the finance field, and you must have the NISM certification, so that you will be getting the certificate, and you will be able to understand the way how all the research analyst works. Now earlier, what used to happen, if in case you are having bachelor's degree, let's think that you had bachelor's degree, then you must have 5 years experience with some of the companies. All the experience things got removed from the eligibility criteria. Okay, so if I talk about some of the example, maybe I'll talk about maybe Arun. So Arun is over here, he has done the MBA finance. So if he wants to apply for license, he does not need to have any experience. He just need to complete this certification which we are discussing, which we'll be studying in this session. And after completing the certificate, he can directly apply for getting the license in research analyst. Okay, so the years of experience and other thing all got removed from now onwards. Okay, so that's the overall the thing which I wanted to share with all of us. Now the next thing is, unfortunately, currently in India, we are having 12 crore investors. And if you see how many SEBI registered investment advisors are there, we are having only 927 SEBI registered investment advisor right now in India. Okay, from the research analyst perspective, we are having only 1380 research analysts in India, and we are having only 429 portfolio managers currently in India. Now, would you agree with me that these many people will not be able to take care of 12 crore investors which are there in India? Okay, so I hope now you have understood why it is so much important in India to get this certificate, because this certificate is the mandatory thing so that you can apply for the license, and of course these are the importance why you should get the certificate. The first and foremost thing is, I told you, if you are completing this certificate and if you have those bachelor's degree in any of the finance, then you will be able to apply for it. Okay, this is the first important thing what you must know. Okay, the second thing is professional credibility, the research analyst. Okay, and you are sharing something, maybe you are sharing, people will come to know that you have done, you already have the certificate from NISM. That means you are credible enough to at least talk something about stock market or securities market. The next one is to improve job opportunities and career growth. If you are applying for any of the job, okay, maybe you don't want to go for the SEBI certificate, or maybe you don't want to apply for the license. If you are applying for job, maybe if you are applying for maybe banking job, okay, or maybe you are applying for some of the companies, something like let's talk about the Morgan Stanley, or maybe JP Morgan, or maybe you want to apply for any of the banking companies, okay, and you have this certificate. Now if there are 2 people, one who does not have the certificate, another people he is having this certificate, so basically the domain knowledge will be taken care by this certificate. So if you are having this certificate, they will be giving you more preference whenever you are going for the job and other things, right? Yes, so something like if you are applying for maybe JP Morgan, okay, now your the knowledge is very important, how to work with team. But if you are working for the banking company, if you are having this certificate, it will really help you in case if you are here, if you are looking for the career growth, job opportunities in the security market companies which are there in India, it will be really be helpful for you. It will enhance the client trust in case you are having plan in future that you want to become the SEBI registered research analyst, and you want to suggest the stock to the other people. You want to suggest the target, you want to suggest the stop loss, you want to suggest the entry price to all the people who are there outside. Then you must have this the certificate which we have discussed, along with the other educational criteria which we must have it. Okay, so these are some of those very important things which we must know.